There's a metaphor that I like in crypto where, people know how to drive cars, but they don't know how the internal combustion engine works, right? I don't know how it works. I just know that I can steer the steering wheel and hit the pedal and get to where I want to go. Well, in the land of crypto, wallet extensions are the steering wheel, in my opinion. You get your wallet extension, you interact with all sorts of blockchains, and you can transact in a future-friendly way. So, with that being the context, a small startup called XDEFI just raised $6 million to make a cross-chain wallet, cross-chain steering wheel compatible in this era of crypto land. This obviously goes up against the big incumbent in the room, which is MetaMask, the consensus-owned subsidiary that you probably know well, and also newer upstarts like Phantom Wallet on the Solana blockchain. I think this stuff is super interesting. The funding amount here is not huge, but the vision is rather big, right? We're talking about 9 chains that can be used, that can be driven on through one wallet interface, which could be rather game-changing down the road should this click and take off. So I'm going to toss this to Will, our DeFi guy. Will, DeFi guy, what's going on? Is there like a wallet war a brewing?
You have like a social issue if you get excited about wallets, but I do find this topic pretty interesting just all around. So MetaMask makes a ton of money and people don't realize it. How they make money is every time you do a swap, MetaMask gets a little cut of that fee. And if you end up doing a lot of swaps or a lot of trades, MetaMask gets a lot of fees. So that's just kind of generally how it works. Recently, that money has just been attracting a lot of developer attention, and it has in the bear market as well. But MetaMask has been working on this project since 2017, and during the 2012 or 2020 bull market, they've just cleaned up and made a ton of money. And so now we have a lot of teams looking at that pile of money and saying, hey, why can't we do that? There's a lot of projects that MetaMask doesn't necessarily work for yet, doesn't work on certain browsers. So there's still like an open gateway to get more wallets into this Web3 ecosystem. There's also this multi-chain thing. You mentioned Phantom, which I believe is the kind of the MetaMask for Solana. If you need another wallet extension for a different chain, very open turf to go build your project on top of. So there's a lot of money involved. Very easy thing to kind of start conceptually building towards. I think the intricacies of a wallet, pretty complex, pretty hard to make something that works really snappy. MetaMask has done a great job with that. That's why it's on over 1 million different applications to date, or 1 million users to date, excuse me. So just kind of wrapping up my thoughts there. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of money in this particular sector of the industry, and people haven't paid enough attention to it. And it's just going to garner more attention going forward. Jen, I thought I saw your hand up, but maybe I was wrong.
You sure did.
I never look at
Nope,
you guys.
you were not wrong.
I talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Then.
All right. Well, when I read the story, I was thinking it's about time MetaMask had some competition. And I think that speaks for like the whole crypto industry. It's so new. We have all of these companies who have been able to gain a competitive advantage via having a first mover advantage. And I think a lot of people are looking at this and seeing that there's a lot of money, like you mentioned, Will. And so I think we're going to see a lot more competition. And I wonder if anyone on this panel has any thoughts on what might give a wallet a competitive, sustainable advantage. Like, what is it that is going to lock out the rest of the competition other than being a first
user
mover?
interface?
I think it's just like CoverGirl, easy, breezy, beautiful. And if you got that in a wallet, I think that would open a lot of doors for users who right now are daunted by the prospect of figuring out how to download the thing.
But it's easy to copy that.
Seed phrase. Well, I guess it's easy to copy that, but it's like, it may be difficult to advance that in a way that works. A cross-chain in a way that's seamless, where I can go from Thorchain to Ethereum and back without having to figure out which browser extension I need to click on, which one I need to sign into. Should there be some vision for this sleek UI, like user-friendly, again, steering wheel to all these different networks, I think that'd be potentially really transformative. And like, honestly, we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen that in a mobile-friendly way. We're just sort of in the early innings of this working on web browsers. So I think there's still a lot of opportunity here in the wallet space, and maybe this funding round and others that we see speaks to that opportunity. But I'll toss it to you, Naomi, for your takes.
Yeah, I agree. Cross-chain definitely is the direction that more people should be looking towards. It's exciting to me to see that there could be this cross-chain alternative to MetaMask. I loved I love Ethereum. I love the walled garden of Ethereum and all of the wonderful things that have blossomed within that garden. The next step is figuring out how to, create a gate and allow people easy access to other change. Because if we think about the exponential growth within Ethereum, just all these different chains building on it, think about the amazing potential once people have the ability to mix with other chains as well, like all the incredible possibilities. Like, it's really exciting to me. One thing I will just mention about wallet integrations into like browsers and things, from a security standpoint, be really careful about your permissions when you add these things. I've had things that I've downloaded before and I didn't realize that the default was to read and log every single thing you type in on every website that you visit. So when you set the parameters for those, make sure that you are going in there and saying only, reading what's on the site when you're on that site, rather than just this thing's going off, it's in your browser, it's capturing everything that you're doing. There are a lot of things that do that by default. So be really careful in that initial setup and make sure you understand what you're installing, because this can be a pretty dark space. There are a lot of attack vectors there. But Zach, I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, with MetaMask, it has done a great job with the EVM compatible chains, right? Where you can go to Avalanche, or you can go to Binance Smart Chain, all right? And those are the ones that sort of like are seeing an initial like gold rush of people hopping over to these networks, because it is easy for most people who have a MetaMask set up to go check out some of these other networks that are popping up. If that functionality was extended to like the Terra ecosystem and like the Thorchain and all these crazy networks that are popping up, sort of a unified user experience, again, I think is the holy grail that some of these teams are looking for. Will, I'm going to toss it to you. I saw your hand up.
Yeah, really quick, last second thought. I would say in terms of like mobile wallets, there is like a growing concern among Ethereum developers to like kind of get into that space. So Rainbow is one really awesome one. I have no affiliation with the team, but I think they have really awesome slick wallets, so you should check it out. Not sponsored, not financial advice. Xeron is another one.
Link or something I can get from you, Will?
Check out my referral link below.
Check out my referral code in the comments.
No, there's more wallets out there than this piece necessarily mentions, and I think that they should get a little credit there as well, especially mobile wallets, because most people interact with these DeFi apps through mobile interfaces now, not necessarily desktop, and some of those are pretty slick. So that's just my 2 stats there.